and then I leave, and I'll
Okay.
come back and see the responses or whatever. But they hit me back fast.
Oh, I'm
They're quick.
sure. They're probably stoked.
I think the last message I got was from someone named Faith Steele, and it says "Good night, honey buns." So,
This is all about you, your journey in music, and how you got to where you are now.
cool.
Very cool. Very cool. So first off, why don't you tell me, where were you born and raised?
Well, my dad's retired military now, so I was born in Monterey, California, and then we moved like all over the place. But now I live in Kansas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Monterey. Okay. We're from San Diego, so California.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. How long were you in Monterey for?
Oh, I don't remember any. I was like 2 years or something like that.
Oh, okay. Very young. Very young. Very young. Okay. And then you moved to Kansas, and that's where you're at now. And tell me about growing up there.
Well, actually, we moved from Monterey to Florida, and then to Alabama, and then I lived in Germany for about 5 years.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I missed a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay, so from how long were you in Florida then?
I was in Florida until I was about 5 or 6. They moved to Alabama, and I was there until I was about 9. And then I lived in Germany till 2017. Then I moved here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was it like moving around like that? Was it hard to, I'm sure keep friends, and you must have to, I don't know, I would assume that would be pretty difficult.
I don't know because it's all that I've really ever done. Like this is the first place that it's like, okay, well, this is because my dad's retired, so now
Oh,
yeah.
you're
So,
kind of in a spot now.
yeah, but I feel like, yeah, I'd make friends, and then I'd move, but I don't think I ever really kept in like touch with a lot of them. A lot of them was just like, I didn't have a strong enough bond or something. I don't know,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, it's a interesting thing because you move like every couple of years or so, and it's
Mhm.
completely new environment, especially like Alabama to Germany.
Right. I can
It's big
imagine.
difference. But yeah, it's
Yeah. So
cool.
what about when you're there, but you're probably on a military base in Germany. So
Yeah,
your schools are, I would assume, in English and around a lot of other kids from the States.
yeah, most of the time. Yeah, we lived off base in this village called Olsbrucken for about 3 years, and then we moved on base for 2 years. The last 2 years I was there, but
Okay.
yeah, I always went to the Dodea school system.
Okay. But
Yeah.
when you're living off base, was it hard to kind of like adapt to the culture of being in a totally different country?
Not really. Just because I was having a great time, but
Okay.
um, it's it's a privilege to be able to be like just be immersed in like a different world at a young age.
Sure.
And be in Europe, many things, but it's gorgeous out there. People are very nice, so
That's cool. That's cool.
yeah.
So inviting, not like, oh, these Americans are here. Like,
It's half of both.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, I get it, man. No,
Okay. I
yeah,
get it. I get it. Okay. Well, so now you're in where Kansas, you said?
yeah,
Well, how did you get into music? Were you into music growing up, like throughout your life, or how did that
yeah.
play into it all?
I think a constant throughout my life, even though I was like moving all the time, and like I was just always very fluid child. I was questioning myself all the time. Like
Hmm.
a constant was always music and making music. Like I started writing songs or just making up musical poems or whatever from like a really young age. I was just doing it all the time. And so yeah, I learned how to play guitar when I was living in Germany, and from there I just started writing songs all the time.
Oh, okay. So
So yeah.
right away you were writing.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about performing? Was that a thing, or was it just kind of a bedroom deal for a while, or?
I did like gigs for a while, or I would play it like well, the first gig that I had that was like just me, and it wasn't
Mhm.
like somebody that I knew was playing, they let me play something, um, was at this place called Ziggy's Pizza here. I have my own gig and
In
everything.
Kansas?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think I was it's 2018. So it was like couple years ago. And then for a while, right before the pandemic, I was gigging like, and I had shows like almost every week because I really wanted to get good at like performing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I just play like coffee shops and things like that. But
Okay.
yeah, it's been a minute.
Oh
And then,
yeah, right. It's been what,
yeah,
18 months or something
yeah, yeah.
crazy. Well,
Uh,
so you put out a record though in 2019. Tell me how did the success start? I mean, you have songs on your Spotify that have like 14 million plays. I mean, that must have gotten picked up pretty quickly. I mean, to say that 2018 was when you kind of started, right, in that world.
yeah. 2018, I released a song called Better Now, and that was the first like song I released like digitally.
Mm-hmm.
With Jesty, who's my producer. And then we released a couple of singles and stuff, but like I always like my goal was to make an album. It's all I wanted to do was make an album because like my idol's Prince, and he was always talking about albums all the time.
Okay.
And I was like, that's gotta be me. I gotta do that. But yeah, and so I knew that I could do it once I figured out like GarageBand and all that. And yeah, I did it. It came out in 2019. It was really cool and nice. And I made that TikTok about what dreams are made of. And
Mm-hmm.
that song just went crazy. It was very overwhelming because after
Really,
that, things
I would
started going,
imagine.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you made the TikTok of what dreams are made of. It
yeah,
blows up. Tell me about that, because the viral success to me is so fascinating. So it's like you
yeah.
put this video up, probably not assuming that obviously it's going to do what it does.
Oh
And
no, no way. I was
yeah,
just, at that point, I had maybe like my best video had like 20 likes.
really. So
Yeah.
what, did it just land in the algorithm and people just was there a specific person that found it? Do you know?
Um, TikTok's really cool because it gives a lot of opportunity to musicians because like if people like something, they're gonna like support it and
Mm-hmm.
like share it around. And also they want to be known as like the first person to like find that song and stuff. So they're either really supportive or really terrible to like new musicians. But I happen to be
Okay.
on the good side of that one time. But yeah, I was volunteering at a museum at the time and I've never did anything I was supposed to be doing. But I went into the break room and I shot this TikTok or whatever because my album had just dropped for What Dreams Made. I was like, oh, go stream my song, whatever, and I posted it. And then like by the time I left that day, because I was only there for like 2 hours, it had already had like 60,000 likes or some crazy shit like that. It was
Oh
wild.
wow.
Yeah,
Did you have any, what did you, I would imagine if it was me that I would think it was some sort of like glitch on my phone. Like,
no,
what? No, like this isn't real. Like, was that running through your mind at all?
I was like, holy shit, what is this? I was really grateful.
Oh, of
'Cause
course,
that was like
right?
the best promotion I could have possibly gotten for my project. But it was weird.
Weird. Do you what at this point? Do you what? Does your phone like overheat and turn off because it's just getting so many notifications? Do you have to turn notifications off on your
No,
phone at this
I like
point?
never I never have notifications turned on like ever. Just because
Oh,
I don't want to like be drawn to my phone for any reason. I'll just
that's
get on
smart.
and look at it when I want to.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't like realize that it was blown up and until I like checked TikTok when I was leaving. And I was like, oh
It's
wow.
like you have 60,000 new notifications.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you screenshot something like that? I would.
I did. And I shared it. I was like, yo, look, I'm cool now.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So the thing's just going nuts, and then do you get, people reaching out to you at this point, like, oh hey, you have a lot of likes on this video. Would you
Yeah.
like?
I mean, from there, everyone on I think at that point in time, because TikTok was pretty new. Not like new, but like people were getting
Mm-hmm.
more into it at the time. So people would follow you from TikTok on Instagram.
Okay.
So my Instagram started gaining followers and stuff, and I would have people reaching out about music opportunities and stuff like that.
Was that
So,
weird?
yeah, it was weird. Um, but
'Cause you're fairly, I mean, don't take offense, but you're fairly young, right?
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Oh no, no, no.
and to have that early on, where that must have been overwhelmed. I would be overwhelmed because what, you're
Yeah,
still in high school and your thing is going crazy and
yeah. I was really excited because like, I mean, I was everybody was trying to figure out what they want to do with their life and all that, and I knew from like a really young age I was just gonna go for it with music.
mm-hmm.
Because it's what I really wanted to do. And when I met Jesse and I had a way to digitally release music, I knew that it was like possible from
Mhm.
there. And so I feel like it was like validation,
Oh, totally.
because it was like, okay, this is something that I'm completely capable of doing, you know? Like
Hmm.
I'm on the right track and it's going well. Like this is fully like achievable.
Hmm.
So I think I felt more like that when I started seeing all these things happening. It was
Okay.
overwhelming, but it was like, finally, this is something that I
Yeah.
feel like this is like realistic now to everybody around me who doesn't believe in like what I'm doing.
Right. It's
I have
like,
something to
see, I
show for
told you. Right.
it.
I
Yeah, yeah,
told you. Look at this.
yeah,
I knew my music was gonna be something, and obviously it resonated with a lot of people.
yeah,
Wow. So Mojo is the first record that comes out that does obviously really, really well. That song blows up.
yeah.
And tell me about getting these people DMing you, I'm sure, interested, labels, managers. How do
Well,
you sift through that?
no labels reached out to me via Instagram or whatever. Those were coming in. We ended up getting a manager once like What Dreams Are Made Of went crazy. And I started
Hmm.
getting offers and stuff, or it just started doing really well. And I think Jesse was like, well, an artist that Jesse worked with, or he still works with, because he's from Ohio. Her name's Cassie King, and she's also from Ohio. And her manager's my manager now, Kevin. And that's how he found out about my music, was through Cassidy, who worked with Jesse. My brother just walked in. I don't know what that was.
Oh, all
Anyway,
good.
but
It's the new life we live, right?
yeah. Um, but I got a manager, and then from there, yeah, he started getting all of these like labels reaching out, wanting to touch base with me,
Hmm.
like, potentially sign. And just that's when things started getting fun. Cause then you get to like go places and
Uh-huh.
you have all these people who treat you real nice because they they want to sign you. So that was cool.
Oh yeah, wine and dine you, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
Take you to
Yeah.
Disneyland, and I don't know if that was happening because it was probably 2020 at that
Oh,
point.
no. Well, during like the label process, like it was going really well. We had this trip to Los Angeles, so it's just like strictly um label meetings.
Mhm.
And from there we had this trip planned to go to the East Coast to meet with people over there, and then the pandemic hit. So I had to do all these meetings for like 2 days, back to back to back to back to back, in front of my computer with my parents, like talking to labels. It was the most exhausting, boring days of my life. And I ended up signing with Mom+Pop over a Zoom call.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great label, by the way. I
Oh
love
yeah.
them.
They're the best. They're the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
So that was done over Zoom. That's
yeah.
so fascinating. Well, okay, so the pandemic hadn't hit when that song started to blow up.
Oh no. It was like
Okay.
just before.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, so who's your producer's name's Jesse,
Yeah.
and how do you meet Jesse?
Um Jesty found me on Instagram from a video of me skateboarding into a pile of trash. He thought it was funny. And so
Really?
he started following me. And I thought it was one of those things where, when people like follow you and then get you to follow them back and then unfollow you?
Oh yeah. Okay. I know.
I thought it was like that. So I was like, I have to develop some sort of connection or this person's going to unfollow me. And if they do, they'll feel real bad about it because of this connection I've established. So
Right.
I
Oh,
sent a
that's
message, I was like,
smart.
I was like, hey, your music's dope, because it was really good. I wasn't just saying it, but
Uh-huh.
hey, your music's really cool. And he was like, thank you. Whatever, we talked or whatever. And then I started, at the time I was posting all of my like original music on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
And I was like promoting it from my Instagram page, and he went and he watched it and he thought it was really good. And he was like, hey, I would really love to work with you and all that. Can I get in contact with your parents? Because I was like 14 or 15 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so, yeah.
And is he much older?
Yeah. He's like 30 something. I don't know.
Okay. And he was like, I'm a producer. I like your songs. Let's do something together. And he said he's in Ohio?
Yeah.
Does he fly down to Kansas, or how did?
No. Everything that we did was like completely remote. Like we hadn't even been in the same room or anything until like after the album came out.
Really? So
Yeah.
the whole first record was done remotely. So you were like way ahead of the game, right?
Yeah.
way ahead of the virtual game, I should say.
Yeah. I was yeah.
Wow. What was that like? Are you sending like just vocal tracks, or tell me
Nah,
how the record kind of gets put together.
how I do it is like the first couple of tracks, because I wrote them all like acoustically.
Uh-huh.
Um, I would send him a video, or he would pick up the video that I posted on YouTube or whatever of me playing it and figure out the chords and all that and transfer it to a track that he could send to me. Or I would do the guitar part and then sing over it. But once I started getting like familiar with like GarageBand and all that, I would start composing my own stuff with like a keyboard and make like the foundation of, you know, like the composition of the song as well as like vocals. And like I would send it to him and then he would make it sound really good. And that's kind of how we work now. But I'm learning more and more about like Logic. I use Logic now, not GarageBand. But yeah, it's very much like a what am I trying to say? Like more of a half, like 50-50 thing.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah. But it sounds like you write the structure of the song and are like, okay, here's the chords, this is the melody and the song and the lyrics. And then he kind of tinkers with it and makes it like adds a little ear candy to make it sound a bit fuller and everything. Okay. That's amazing. And that started. And how was his reaction to this TikTok video that went nuts? Because it kind of, it probably changed both your lives, I would imagine.
So exciting. Yeah. Yeah. I think after it blew up, that's when he like came out he saw one of my shows or to see one of my gigs that I was playing at the time. And also just talk about music and like tracks and like sit down and like talk about like manager options.
So did he know people, or how did you get the management?
Oh, from that artist that he was working with that was also.
Oh, sure. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so Cassidy was an artist he was already working with.
Yeah.
And then her manager was Kevin, who then
now my manager.
Your manager. Yeah. And so you guys all met, and now and then you were working with Kevin, and then Kevin is the one that kind of helps filter through these labels and get you these meetings, and eventually you signed to Mom+Pop. Got you.
Yes.
Okay. So once the world shuts down and you sign this deal, then I'm sure your life probably didn't change a whole. I mean, obviously it did when you're stuck inside now forever. Yeah. But as far as the way you guys were making music, it doesn't sound like it changed much.
No, we still do like remote stuff, but recently we went on this like trip to LA. It's like studio time with a couple different people, and I'd never been in like a studio before, like
a pro studio.
Yeah, and
how different was that? Real quick.
I mean, it was like, it's so different because now you're in the same room with everybody that you're working with, and everything goes like this now, and it's not all these like elongated.
Sure.
Like it's all there, and like the communication. I don't know. I thought like, oh, well, this whole remote thing's great because since there's a lack of communication, it's a shared image at that point. Because it's like, I'm not stepping on you when you're doing your thing and you're not, whatever. It's like, it's collaborative. But like when I'm in the same room, like I can make these decisions or what I don't and what I do like in the room, and I'm there. And I realize how much, I learned so much because I worked with all these people who took on more of like a mentoring role and not like, oh, we need to be in here, we need to make a hit or something like that. But it's like more like seeing me as like a younger artist who's like capable of growth. I mean, everybody is, but it's like, and just like helping me figure things out, like showing me the process. And like, I think it really helped me figure out that I would rather be in more of a conductor position of like being able to be like, oh no, I want this, and I want this to sound like this instead of like this. And I would rather you lower that or like heighten these things. Like just I can really be in charge and like really shape whatever I'm trying to do to make it like what I see it in my head. I can really talk, like I have the vocab now to like say what I like, what I want. And that's important. So I think that's cool. Yeah.
Because you can, now you have more of the language as far as the studio setting goes. Okay, I want this to drop down this and raise this, and so you're hearing all these things in your head already, right? You know what you want it to sound like. Is it
Yeah.
frustrating sometimes to not get the result that you're trying to get from your head?
Yes. And I think that's why I really liked being in the studio setting with everybody. Because it's like, I mean, I've always like heard like the vision and like what I wanted to be like, but I didn't have the knowledge to like execute it or
Sure.
like say that this is whatever. Like I can draw influences or send somebody tracks that I'm drawing inspiration from,
Mm-hmm.
but like there's no better way to like translate that idea or that vision than like knowing music and like learning it and like knowing exactly what you want, because that's yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever
no,
that
that
is.
makes complete sense. And then
Yeah.
now you're back into a virtual world. Is it hard
Yeah.
to now, you got a little taste of what it's like to be in the
Yeah.
studio and kind of speak the language and get stuff to sound exactly how you'd like
Yeah.
it, but now you're back into this world of
Yeah.
everyone's over the computer again.
But now I'm like, oh, we gotta get studio time. We gotta get studio time again. You gotta come down here. We can rent out a studio. Let's just go over these tracks. But now I'm like, okay, this is what I really want to do.
Okay.
It works
So
so much better than what I was doing.
when you're in lockdown, is this when you start writing these new songs like Jennifer Aniston, so and et cetera, and putting out these music videos?
Well, all of those, not the music videos, but all of those songs like Jennifer Aniston and like the ones that are gonna come out soon, were done like right before the pandemic.
Oh,
Like
okay.
finished throughout the pandemic. So they're so far away from me now just because of like growth and like, there was a whole pandemic that hit. It was like
Right.
so just vastly different from wherever the world is and where I am now.
Okay.
It's like it's from like a whole world away. So I'm just trying to like get these songs out so that I can like really, you know,
Like
like
get them out, not forget about them, but just kind of like
yeah, it's
set
just
them
like
free, so to speak.
yeah, it's been so long. But, yeah.
Wow. So these songs written prior to pandemic, and then are you obviously writing throughout the whole time? So now you have new songs that you're just itching to release?
Yes, and they're all so good, and I'm trying to get like into because I've never like composition wise and lyrically these songs are just so crazy, and I'm so excited about them. But it's like they're gonna come out in like another year or two, so it's like
Oh,
it's
really? So it's still going to be a
possibly,
while. So you
I don't
still have a
know.
lot of songs, sitting back that you've done? I mean, your most recent one, Electricity, and that's new, or that's an older one that
That's
you.
way old. It's so old, but it's no less of a banger. But
Right. I mean, it's a smash, but I'm just curious to hear, like, so you feel like you are just so much further down the road than these songs.
yeah, I made this song like a couple weeks ago that I was
Uh-huh.
really excited about because I put a horn section in it.
Wow.
Like I've been listening to a lot of like, I mean, my two like top people when I was writing like a couple months ago were like Prince and Frank Ocean. And
Huh?
I was talking to my mentor Maria or whatever, and she was like, "Oh, you listen to Prince and Frank Ocean, you gotta look at the people that Prince and Frank Ocean both like drew inspiration from." And it was like Stevie Wonder and like Sly and the Family Stone. So I
Mm-hmm.
started listening to them and stuff, and it was like just a whole different ball game. It's so genius and crazy. So I threw this like horn section into this song. It was like the funkiest thing I've ever done. And it's just, I'm so excited because I get to like experiment with music. The only fear that I have is like, I'm going to start getting too good and no one's going to be able to like digest it anymore. But
Oh,
like,
too far away from what you've done to gain the success originally.
yeah. Cause I was listening to a lot of more like modern artists who like, and that's still good stuff. It's still so good, like modern R&B and like,
Uh-huh.
funky stuff. But when you start looking like going down like this family tree of like where everybody gets how it all falls down,
Right.
you start like being able to get better at what you're doing because you can, take what you take away from different artists. But yeah, I just want to be really good at music. I just want to be really good at it.
I think you are. I think you are very good at it. Yeah, obviously you're doing something right to gain the success that you have. With these new songs, do you feel like it's something that you have to release in order that you wrote them? As far as like this song you're talking about now, with the horn section, is this something that's going to come out after the 5 other songs or however many other songs that you wrote during the pandemic hit?
Oh, I write so much more than that. But Like,
Well, I'm just giving an example.
oh
But
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, no, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you
yeah.
have all these songs that are done prior to this new one that you wrote 2 weeks ago. Are those
Oh
ones
yeah.
all gonna have to come out before this one,
Nah,
or
I'm smacking that one right on that project. It's
okay?
gotta make it like just. I mean, bullshit. This is a song that's on like my
Yeah.
discography or whatever.
Uh-huh.
It's my favorite song I've released that I put out, and it's like because you can really feel that song, and it's like super original to my production, what I did with it, and
Uh-huh.
Jesse added that like really sick bass line and did his thing with it. But like my favorite song that's out right now, just because it's the closest to me. Like that is the newest song that and I wrote that one like a month ago last summer. So like in June of last
Oh,
year.
so like over a year ago.
Yeah, and that's the closest one to me. And it's still so good. Like it's just and I released that one before I'm dropping all these tracks for character development.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because character development's the new record coming out.
Yeah, yeah,
The
that's
new
that.
the new project. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's exciting though. So you have singles coming out before the album comes out, which is what, the end of next month, right?
Yeah. Yeah. August
That,
27th.
that's exciting. What about
Yeah.
live shows to promote it? Like, is that something that you're going to see yourself doing in the
Going
future
on
here?
tour. Yeah.
A tour.
Yeah.
Wow. When does that
Yeah.
start?
That's in like late October to like November.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's exciting. You're on
It is.
Outside Lands this year, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. That's crazy awesome.
I'm so nervous. Oh my
Are
God.
you?
Yeah. Oh Lord. I'm trying to like, I gotta practice with this band. And this band is like so crazy because it's like they all play like experimental jazz, like Latin jazz.
Okay.
And like and they're all gonna be playing like my pop stuff
Uh-huh.
and like my ballads. But I'm so excited because like I get to like practice with them and like work with these geniuses. But I'm like
This is the
so
first time
nervous.
is this the first time you've played with a band, like a live band?
Yeah, like well, I played with bands before, but it was like bands that I created like at school and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But these are like these 30-year-old dudes who like have been doing this for so long and are like the best at what they do. It's like crazy. But I'm glad because like they're people who are much better than I am, obviously. But like, and I can learn. I'm all about just learning stuff and like,
Mm-hmm.
it's better than working with. It could be more of like an experience for me, and like very beneficial for me to be
Mm-hmm.
around like these crazy musicians. But I'm so nervous because like I think one of my biggest fears is that I'm gonna be like disappointing to people who like paid to see me or whatever. But I'm just
Oh,
trying to like practice to get to that.
I wouldn't worry about that. I wouldn't
Oh, you're so kind.
I wouldn't worry about that. Well, wow. So tour. What is this something that, I mean, your parents will probably have to come with you, I'd assume, or no?
Yeah, I think my dad's gonna be coming with me because my mom's
That
gotta work.
is that is dad like he must be a pretty big advocate for you and what you're
Yeah,
doing.
yeah, he's really cool about it. They're both like, I'm really lucky to have people who are so supportive of what I'm doing and
Mm-hmm.
like really wanting to see me wanting to see what's best for me happen.
Sure. And for him
Yeah,
to see you at something like Outside Lands, it's going to be mind blowing, I'm sure.
yeah. I hope he cries.
Oh, I bet he will. I bet he will. I would. I mean, that's quite the achievement.
Yeah,
I would say, like, so this tour that you're doing are you headlining the tour? Are you doing a
yeah,
support?
yeah,
Wow. And
yeah.
and it's going from, you said August through
It's going
November.
from like late October.
Oh, October.
Yeah, I started in Minneapolis because
Okay.
Prince is like my person.
Oh, sure. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I started in Minneapolis at the 7th Street Entry. I think that's what it's called. And I think we go to Chicago and then we go to, I don't know. We go to like East Coast. We do
Uh-huh.
shows over in New York and like over there, and then we fly over. We do Outside Lands. And I get to play Outside Lands on Halloween.
Yeah, I know. What a cool way that they did that this year.
I gotta find a costume, man.
Oh, I didn't think about that. What are you
Yeah,
gonna, you don't know. What are you gonna be?
hopefully a cowboy. But yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
Cowboy. Okay.
We'll look at my options. But
Yeah. Still sorting through your options.
yeah, my options for my Halloween costume.
Well,
Yeah,
I can't wait to see what you decide on.
yeah. And then we do shows in like Los Angeles, and we wrap it up by doing one here.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And is this like a van tour? Are you going to be going in a van? Are you flying?
No idea. I have no
No
clue.
idea.
I gotta practice with my band. It's in like October. It's coming up, and I gotta practice real bad. But yeah.
Well, that's amazing. So you're going to support the record. And I did see on your Instagram you have a texting line. Tell me about this. How often are you getting texts? How many text messages did you get within the last 30 minutes that we were talking?
I have no idea. It's I get on there and I send some stupid shit. And then I leave. And I'll come back and see the responses or whatever. But they hit me back fast.
Oh, I'm sure. They're probably stoked.
I think the last message I got was from someone named Faith Steele, and it says, "Good night, honey buns." But they're fun. I got a funny group of people.
That's really cool. Fun. And they probably get such a kick out of the fact that you're responding to them.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like feeling, I don't want to be somebody that's like, it's gonna sound so stupid, but I don't want to be somebody who's like praised or something. Like, I would rather just have like, I want to feel close to the people who are supporting me, my music and stuff, because I don't think I'm capable. I don't want to be I don't know. I'd rather be a friend.
Do you feel like you have like a little bit of an imposter syndrome in that sense, like that you not that you don't deserve what like where you think like I don't, not like that I don't deserve this, but like, why do I have like, I'm not any different or any better than these people, or in the sense of like, I don't know how to explain it right now. But
I know what you mean. Yeah. Because I go live on like YouTube all the time, because like it like never sends out the notification, and if it does, it's just like the people who
subscribe to you
on YouTube. So it's like always like a group of like 30-50 people max.
And
it's always the same people, and so it's just like talking to like my friends or whatever.
Yeah, you got a little community.
Yeah. And it feels like I've like funneled out like everybody who like, I don't know. I have like the most genuine, like fun, real like group of people, like real supporters of like my stuff. I don't know why, but they think I'm very nice. And
you are.
Thank you. And and yeah, it's like the same people in like my community and stuff. And I like having that solid foundation of people, and like being able to like know them. And I want them to feel like, they know me. I want to establish like a genuine connection with these people, because it's like, I don't know. I've never liked feeling
like in the spotlight, kind of.
Not like in the spotlight, but feeling like somebody else. Because a lot of times to get away from having people wanting to like, I don't know, dig into your private life and stuff, because you've seen like these artists get like massive, and they've got all this like this massive following of like people who like want so much of that person.
Right.
And it's like they establish an image so that they can be themselves behind that. And I don't want to have to do that. I'd rather just feel
be you.
Yeah, be myself and have my little baby group of people. Yeah. Also, I don't ever want to have a mass influence, because that gets scary.
Okay.
They'll crucify your ass. They
right.
Yeah, it's so scary. No.
I could see like like Billie Eilish, I guess, would be a good example of that.
Yeah.
Because she went to some level that was so quickly, and like the fan base she has is just so dedicated. But like you said, she could do something.
Yeah.
And get crucified for it, right?
Yeah. You can't have any sort of like creative or original thought when you get to a certain point. Unless it's like going through music and like that. Because you can't express yourself at a certain point without it becoming detrimental.
Right.
I don't ever want to get to that point. I don't want to do that. No.
It's a fine line. Yeah, that's interesting to think about.
Yeah, no.
Because you're very close to doing that. But not, no. I mean, not close to not close to not being yourself, but I mean, like close to having the amount of people that are going to be like,
maybe
you're amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that you're doing awesome. You're doing what you're doing, and obviously you know how to be there for your fans in the sense that you like your tight knit community. But who knows that tight knit community could be 50,000 people.
Yeah, that's scary as shit. But, yeah.
We will see. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I'm so excited for you. Outside Lens is going to be huge and amazing. Your tour, amazing. And congratulations on all the success you've had.
Thank you so
It's
much.
so cool. So cool. One last question for you before I let you go. Do you have any advice for aspiring artists?
Yes. I just have to think about it for a second. Hold on.
No worries.
I guess, you can say no to people. You can say no to people. You don't have to take on, and I've heard this like 20 billion times before, but it's like, it's very true. You can say no to people and you can say no to opportunities because it's not going to be the last one, and trust in your vision and in your music and do what you like. And that's the only way that you can really, truly be happy being successful and really, truly be successful with yourself. Bringing it backward.